Welcome, everyone. Today we're looking into the really quite incredible story of J.K. Rowling.
Yes, it's a journey that so many people find fascinating.
Absolutely. It really strikes you, doesn't it? Someone facing just enormous hardship and then achieving this unbelievable success.
It really does. It speaks to anyone out there facing their own challenges, pursuing a dream.
We thought looking at her experiences might offer some interesting perspectives.
Definitely. Her path, it just highlights this incredible resilience needed when things feel, well, impossible. It's that classic comeback story.
A comeback queen, perhaps.
Exactly.
So let's start at the beginning. A young girl in England loved to write, apparently wrote her first story at age 6 about a rabbit.
Yes, called Rabbit. Shows that imagination was there right from the start.
Yeah. And she often wrote to entertain her younger sister, which is quite sweet. But things weren't always easy. Her teenage years, her mother's illness, money worries.
It's often those early challenges, isn't it, that kind of shape you. Writing might have been, a bit of an escape for her then.
Could well have been. Then things got, well, significantly tougher. Her mother passed away from multiple sclerosis. Joanne was only 25.
Such a profound loss at a young age.
Yeah.
That must have been devastating.
Yeah. And after that, she moved away, went to Portugal, taught English there.
Right, trying for a fresh start, perhaps.
She got married, had her daughter, Jessica. But that chapter also had its difficulties, and the marriage ended in divorce.
So you have this series of really major life events, stacking up grief, moving countries, marriage, motherhood, then divorce. That's a lot of upheaval.
A huge amount.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Edinburgh in Scotland.
Okay.
And this is where things seem particularly bleak. Picture it. She's a single mother back in the UK, living on state benefits.
Right.
And she was diagnosed with clinical depression during this time, juggling a baby, trying to write this manuscript she was carrying around.
Wow.
She actually described herself as being as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless.
That really hits home, doesn't it? That phrase, it paints such a vivid picture of how desperate things were.
It absolutely does. It feels like a real low point.
You'd certainly think so. A potential rock bottom moment, for sure. But, as we know, not the end of the story.
Not at all. Because even with all this going on, she kept writing.
The dedication there is incredible.
She'd go to cafes, apparently, with her daughter sleeping in the pram beside her, and just write, working on this story.
The story about the boy wizard.
Exactly. The boy who doesn't know he's famous, living under the stairs, until he gets that letter from a magical school. Harry Potter, of course.
It's quite something, isn't it? Creating this world of magic and wonder while living through such difficult personal circumstances.
The contrast is stark, but getting that story out there, that was another huge hurdle.
Oh, yes. The rejection phase.
She sent the manuscript out to 12 publishers, and all 12 rejected it. Some didn't even reply.
Imagine that feeling. Pouring your heart into something, facing that wall of silence, or just...
Yeah.
It takes serious grit to keep going.
It really does. And many people would have just given up, surely.
Absolutely. But she didn't.
No. And then finally, a small publishing house, Bloomsbury, decided to take a chance.
And the story behind why they took it is just brilliant.
It really is. It wasn't some high-level executive decision initially, was it?
No. It was the chairman's 8-year-old daughter, Alice.
She read the first chapter.
And apparently came out demanding the rest of the book immediately.
Huh. You can't get a better endorsement than that, can you? An eager child reader.
It just shows, doesn't it? Sometimes the most important feedback comes from those unexpected places, the actual audience.
So true. So Bloomsbury publishes it, 1997, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
And that initial print run. Tiny.
Just 500 copies, and half of those went to libraries.
It's almost unbelievable now, thinking about what happened next. Those first editions must be worth a fortune.
Oh, absolutely. Because from that very small start, it just exploded.
It really did take off, didn't it? Within about 5 years, we're talking millions and millions of copies sold.
All over the world. Translated into, over 80 languages?
An incredible reach. Hollywood got involved.
Films. Huge blockbusters. It just took the whole phenomenon to another level entirely.
The speed and the sheer scale of it all are just astounding. It clearly struck a chord universally.
And for Rowling herself, the transformation was complete. From living on benefits
to becoming a billionaire. The first author ever to reach that status through writing, I believe.
That's right. It's the ultimate rags to riches story in many ways.
It is, financially. But her impact, it goes way beyond the money. She got a whole generation reading again.
That's a huge point. Created this world that people felt they belonged in. Terms like Muggle and Quidditch became part of everyday language.
Exactly. So when we look back at this whole journey, what are the key things that stand out? The takeaways?
Well, firstly, I think failure. It's not the end, is it? It's often part of the process, those 12 rejections.
Absolutely. They weren't roadblocks, ultimately. They were just part of the path. It highlights that need for persistence, for resilience, not taking no as the final answer.
Right. And secondly, that idea of hitting rock bottom. For her, that incredibly difficult period in Edinburgh, that's when Harry Potter was really born. Creativity emerging from pain.
It's a powerful reminder, isn't it? That sometimes our toughest times can actually be the soil for something really significant to grow. That adversity can fuel creativity in unexpected ways.
Yeah. And the third thing, maybe. You just never know where your story will land.
That's a great point.
She was writing for herself, for her daughter initially, not aiming for global domination.
No, exactly. She wasn't chasing fame. But the story resonated so deeply, so authentically, that it connected with millions in a way she couldn't possibly have predicted.
It speaks to writing what you care about, doesn't it?
It really does. Authenticity often finds its audience.
There's that great quote from her. It is impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all.
That sums it up perfectly, I think. It's about embracing the possibility of failure as part of a life fully lived. Don't be afraid to try.
So for anyone listening today, maybe facing setbacks, maybe chasing a big goal, her story is quite something to hold on to.
Definitely.
It shows that comebacks can absolutely be stronger than setbacks.
Indeed. It's about that perseverance, finding strength in adversity, and maybe, just maybe, finding that the story you need to tell is the one that connects most deeply with others.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? What unexpected turns might be waiting in our own stories if we just keep going.
It certainly does. Keep writing your own chapters.